Can Khan's cuts capture committed culinary connoisseurs? Hey guys, so this is probably going to end up being a pretty short video. Honestly, just because there's not a whole lot to say here. The short answer for this review I'm going to give you right off the bat is, yeah, this is a great knife. So just to go ahead and get started, I've been interested in Khan knives for a while. Ever since, I've made it pretty clear that that I like Kenji Lopez a lot, based on the Food Lab and just his YouTube channel and stuff like that. Big fan of what he does, and I think his endorsement of something like this is a pretty glowing endorsement. And so I've been interested in these knives for a long time. Never got around to buying one. But what I finally did, I actually reached out to Barney Lund of Khan, the owner of Khan, and talked to him about sending me a knife, and he was actually more than happy to send one out to me. And so I just got it about, I don't know, a week or so ago. I've been using it off and on, and I really, really like it so far. So we're just going to kind of go straight in here. There's not a whole lot to say, like I said. Got the knife, and I was immediately pretty impressed with the packaging. It's very simple, no frills. It's just a simple, super sleek, blacked out box. So blacked out, in fact, that you can see my fingerprints all over it. And then when you open it, there's not a whole lot, actually. Got this simple card with the Khan logo on the back. It just, gives you a website to go to before you use your knife. And honestly, if you know what you're doing with a knife, it's pretty negligible. If you're new to knife use, maybe check it out. But it's honestly just some basics on knife care and basic usage of a knife, stuff like that. Nothing to really worry about too much. So we get into the actual knife. And so the knife I have here is the chef's knife. Let's see if that'll focus, or if I'm just gonna have to take a picture later. And so we've got Damascus clad VG10 steel. Not a whole lot to talk about with that there. I've already talked about VG10 before on this. Channel. It's a good kind of intro Japanese steel, kind of middling. Doesn't really excel in any aspects of knife steel, but it doesn't lag either. It's kind of right down the middle. It's a really good kind of beginner Japanese steel. So we get into looking at it, looking at the shape and everything. We've got the ebony wood handle with a teardrop shape, which I actually really like because it's kind of reminiscent of a D-grip that a lot of knives have, especially Japanese knives, where they're meant to fit into your hand perfectly. But I'm a lefty and I can't use D-grips. At least not your average ones, unless it's like a custom-made knife. So the teardrop is kind of meant to fit in your hand a little bit more nicely, but with a more ambidextrous approach to that. So I really like that. It's super, super comfortable to hold. When we look at the knife, we've got one of the things that I've mentioned before that I really like. Yeah, and we've got that like slightly rounded spine, so it's not digging into your hand when you use it. So as you're holding the knife, immediately, it's very light, it's super light. It's also got a perfect balance to it. And so this is super dangerous, and you shouldn't do this, but this is just kind of to show like the great balance and how light it is, that I can just kind of twirl it around in my hand like this, and it's super comfy. And so, I've been using it at work for a week, and it's just flown through everything. My knife speed's actually picked up a little bit just because it's so light and easy to use. It almost doesn't even feel like you're holding anything. I know that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it feels like an extension of your hand more than something that you're holding. And I really love that about this knife. I like this knife so much that it's become my primary knife. It's replaced my Wusthof as my daily driver. It just feels good. That's really all I can say about it. It just feels good to use. Like, I don't even really have anything negative to say about the knife. I suppose, like, if I wanted to be super nitpicky, the out-of-box sharpness could have been a little bit better. But that's really not even saying that it was bad. It was very sharp out of the box. It's just, I'm a psychopath, and I like my knives screaming sharp, and I will probably end up putting a finer edge on this. but this isn't any more dull than any knife you're going to buy anywhere. It's actually sharper than some knives that I've gotten out of the box. So it's still plenty sharp, and you don't really need to worry about touching it up when you get it, unless you're a psychopath like me. Like I said, this is a super short video. I just don't really have much more to say about this other than it's a great, damn near perfect knife. So what you can do here too, and I want to preface this, I'm not making any money off these sales. I don't have any sort of affiliate marketing set up with Barney. He was just gracious enough to set this up. You can use code LAUNCHPAD at checkout for $5 off of any order at Con. Not just the chef knife, but even a paring knife, anything in between. Code LAUNCHPAD, $5 off. Now, like I said, I won't be getting any money off of that. However, a portion of all sales will go to Feeding America. So, you know, buy a knife, get a good knife, save a little bit of money, and help feed some hungry people. It's a win-win-win-win. It's a hard deal to beat, honestly. So, yeah, that's it. Same old, same old. Hit those buttons down there. Tell YouTube you like me. Love y'all. See you soon.